Okay. We'll start. What are the yesterday? Someone came. Who is the latest person? Still, the name is not entered. So no problem. We'll enter it again. Okay. So guys, what we discussed yesterday, guys. Every time I don't know when is your interview and also. My point is, never think someday or maybe like maybe after 2 weeks or maybe after 3 weeks or maybe after 2 months, your interview is there. So never think like that. Study daily, every day study, and compulsory study the all the previous topics every day. And first important is always study yesterday's topic. Okay, first one complete the what are you studied yesterday or till yesterday and today's. So that will covers your subject. Every day you have to repeatedly study. Second one is put a meeting. So interact with your batchmates if you are feel fear or a shy to speak with the trainers. No problem because it's a common thing, common to usually people. But try to speak to us. Okay, like asking questions or asking doubts or asking explain it again. No problem. I will explain it again. Okay. So here it is. The point is you have to discuss within your self group only. Also, that is start try to put a question and let them answers. So then you will get more interact to involve in the subject and completely go through once again and again of your what are the subject till completed. Okay, if tomorrow is an interview, you are ready to be give a answer for a interview. That is very important. Never trust the cognizant interview dates. It can be preponed, it can be postponed also. There is a both the things are there. Okay, so they will suddenly ask next week on Monday we'll conduct an interview for you. They can ask. So now it's happened so many times. Okay, so everyday study is very important. I'm not just telling uh, uh, to push you towards the study part. I'm telling the truth. If you have a doubt you can ask Madhu sir, Sai sir, or Charan sir. Okay, Pawani madam, you can ask anybody in our staff or including Cognizant or previous batch people also, you can ask. So interview can be pre-ponded, post-ponded. So they will tell, I need a batch people on next Monday. We need it. So we'll take an interview on this Saturday. You have to ready. What are the topics are covered? So based on that, they will ask the questions and you have to give the answer. So what to do that one? Better to study. Study daily. So that's my sincere I'm telling. Okay, so that's important. And how to do that one? It's make it how it is easy to it. So always study the what completed topics. First, always start with that one. Yesterday we discussed about MBR and GPT. Guys, anybody will tell what is MBR and GPT?
Start both record.
Very good.
GUID partition table.
Very good. Very good. So what's the difference? Anyone? How many primary partitions in MBR?
It contains three primary partition
Very
and one
good.
extended. Primary partition and logical.
Hmm. Or three primary, one extended.
One logical.
Inside number of logical.
Three primary.
Yes, right. Sorry, three primary. Okay, simple up to support up to 2 terabyte partition size. Okay, this is GPT.
16 EB. 18 EB.
Yeah. 128 partitions we can able to
Primary
create,
partition.
and we can create up to support more than two also support more than 2 terabyte. Mine's up to 18 EB. Very good. So like that, you have to keep repeating. And also we discussed about basic disk and a dynamic disk. What is a basic disk? Usually for to create a partitions, store operating system like that. Dynamic disk to create a volumes. So we use to logically if you want to add two or more disk together. So that is we have to convert basic to dynamic. Okay, that is we discuss. Next, the file systems we discuss. Simply, what are the file system? FAT. What file system we are using? NTFS we are using. Other file systems are EXFAT, REFS. Okay, in a Linux and Unix we use ext3, ext4, like that we are using. In networking, NFS, CIFS file system we are using, and other file systems also we are using. And also we use different type of storage devices. Okay, I will tell some more extra storage devices later, but currently storage devices we see PATA hard disk. Okay, next one is SATA type of hard disk. Okay, so SATA type of hard disk. SCSI, we discussed about a SCSI, small computer system interface, and also we discussed about a SAS. Okay, serial attached SCSI storages, and iSCSI just I given abbreviation, so I'm not doing that one. Next is SSDs. So what are the difference between all these things also we discussed. SATA is a serial advanced technology attachment which is faster than a PATA, parallel advanced technology attachment, faster and so lighter, and the data read and write speed is also good. Of course, PATA is up to 360, 500 GB hard disk only, but in a SATA we are getting 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte of hard disk also we are getting in a SATA. I guess SCSI is especially for a hot swappable kind of disk types we are getting. So number of disks we can connect it to through the controller, which is inserted into our motherboard. SAS is a serial attached storage, which is nothing but SCSI basically parallel connectivity is there, but SAS kind of disk is like a SATA. We have a serial connector, usually used in a iSCSI type of disk base. SSDs. What is a SSD? It's a solid state drive. There is a no loose part like a SATA hard disk or a PATA hard disk. It is faster and costlier than a normal hard disk, but faster than a normal hard disk. Very lightweight and no loose part kind of stuff. No electromagnetic interference on it. Okay, and basically you can carry the SATA hard disk from anywhere. So, but based on the size and cost, is SSD is the costliest one. So it is suitable for operating system and application storage. So that is like that. So what we discussed after SSD. So now we will go with the type of storages. Okay. These are the storage devices. This is the type of storages. In the type of storages, we have a dash, NAS, SAN, dash, NAS, SAN. So we'll go to that. One more is I left over, that is also I will tell. Okay. So first of all, what is that dash? Okay. Because when you see these PPTs, also just pull up like this, and also you can see some explanation is here. Footnote is there. I created these PPTs and thing. Okay. Not all credit is not going to me. So because the this is from Microsoft and this footnote is from me. Okay, so I took it from somewhere. Okay, so what is this dash? Directly attached storage. Okay, it's a simple storage only. Like you take a server. Okay, you take a server or your desktop or your laptop. Inside of the machine you have a hard disk. Inside of the machine you have a hard disk. So this is called a dash. What is a dash? If your storage device is inside of or attached to your system directly, that is called a dash. Okay, it's very simple, easy to configure, but no centralized access. Easy to configure, inexpensive solutions. But disadvantage is isolated because the disks are attached to a single server, less flexibility for allocation. So okay, so what we say, disk or storage devices, anything. But I put a disk. Disk means a storage device. Okay, disk is directly attached to or server or a machine like that. Like example, internal hard disk. Okay, example, internal hard disk. Okay, SCSI also comes here. Okay, so like that. SCSI also not a centralized storage. iSCSI is centralized storage. SCSI is not a centralized storage. Okay, easy to configure, but it is not for a storing from network storage. Not suitable for network storage related thing. It is only thing. So like internal hard disk type, like you can store your data only. And that's it. Next type is centralized storages. So first one is NAS, network attached storage. What is NAS? Network attached storages. Okay. So what is this NAS? How it is look like? We'll see this. This is NAS. Okay. It's a relatively inexpensive. So NAS is a storage that is attached to a dedicated storage device and access through network share. So this is a good one. And also there is a explanation is there here in the bottom, so you have to go through that one. So this is just for understand. Okay, relatively less banks NAS offers centralized storage at affordable price, easy to configure, slower access time, not a enterprise solution. It is not for a enterprise solution. Next, there is a few more points to the NAS. Is NAS is a centralized device, centralized storage, not suitable for enterprise solutions. Okay, not a completely enterprise solution kind of stuff. Okay, access through okay regular network only. So through regular network only. So you don't need of any special network here. So access through regular network only. Okay, and relatively inexpensive, relatively cheaper than cheaper than sun, cheaper than sun. That is one important one. Slower access time, that is a different kind of stuff. Okay, and two important more points are there. So that is centralized storage. It's a file level storage. There is a two type of storages are there. One is a file level storage and block level storage. This is a file level storage, and it uses a protocols NFS, PIFS, SMB share kind of stuff. You'll get it. Okay. So it use a protocols to access. Guys, I think you guys already in Windows 10 practice how to share a folder and how to access the that folder through other machine. Maybe you're accessed. Okay, maybe you are done that practical, because I don't see you're done or not. But as I know, there is a practical as seen. Okay, so here is a one machine. Here we have a shared one folder. For example, this folder name is data one. This is my server one, for example, or a PC one. Any name you can put it. It's a just a machine, Windows machine or something like that. And here I have another machine. This is a P1. Through network, through network, both are connected to the network. Okay, through the network, I'm accessing data. Okay, through the network, I'm accessing data. This data from here. ఏందమ్మా?
నీ మందులు సీటీ ఉంది కదా అది బాబాయ్ నా ఫోన్ ఉంది కదా పెద్ద ఫోన్
Of course.
Conference will now be recorded.
Where are we last? Guys, can you able to hear?
The file sharing.
Yeah,
Yes,
file
yes,
sharing.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, here it is. Okay, so we'll see. Very good. So here we have a system. For example, system S1, something it is like a S2 or a P2, anything. Okay. So here we have a folder. I shade a folder and I access the folder from here. How I access? Through network, right? So to access something, we need to use protocols, right? I want to access a website. Which protocol I have to require? I want to access a website. Which protocol I require? Which protocol I require? Okay, HTTP protocol, right? HTTPS protocol. If I want to access the files, then we need a you want to download a file or transfer the file. FTP protocol, VSFTP protocol. Okay, to want to access the mails, SMTP protocol, POP3 protocol, IMAP protocol. You want to access the remote desktop, RDP protocol. You want to get authentication from Active Directory, Kerberos authentication protocol, LDAP protocol. Okay, all are protocols only. Like this, to access the data from a PC to other PC data. So like data is here, and we access from here. Okay, okay. The PC is here. Our data is here. Access from here. To do that one, again we need a some networking protocols like a NFS, Network File System, CAFS. Okay, Common Internet File System, or a Samba share, SMB share or a Samba share. Okay, server message block. So that is called. Okay, FTP protocol. You can use FTP or a VSFTP, very secure file transfer protocol. Very secure file transfer protocol. Okay, HTTP. Okay, using HTTP also you are transferring data, web data we are transferring like this, so through our HTTP, like this. So the basic protocols are like this. Okay, so using that we are accessing. Same concept here, same concept only. NAS works. NAS is like a like when you are share data and you are accessing data, you are access the data in the files wise only. Just like how you access a folder. Last time I shared something here, so we'll try. See, here it is. I shared some folder and I open this folder, I see the data in the files format or folder format only. So this is my shared folder data. Okay, I'm accessing a data which is shared somewhere. Actually, it is shared in my PC only, but I am accessing just to show that one. Okay, so next, how this NAS is look like. Okay, I will forward a video. Recently, I checked that video. That is good. I will forward that video to explanation. Here it is. This is the file server. File server manage file related things like a file server. It's a file server, and this is the storage bay. What is the storage bay? It contains number of hard disk inside, like a SCSI disk type only, iSCSI disk storage type only. It is nothing but a box which contains number of hard disk. The box contains number of hard disk, and this box is directly connected to the network. Okay, it is connected to network. Of course, our file server is also in the network only. Okay, don't think something okay it is there is a tap or a ground or something is there. No, no, it's just meaning is it connected it to network. Otherwise I will put like this. Here is my switch. Okay, and my file server is connected to a switch, and my storage bay is also connected to. Yes, so this is storage disk bay. Okay, so disk 1, disk 2, like that it is connected. So through the file server, what I will do, using a file server, what I will do, I'll create a folder here. I will create a folder here. Okay, and I will give you permission. So particular user can able to access this folder. Okay, so I'm here in the network. I'm in the network. Okay, I am in the network. So I'm a user, one of the user. For example, I'll take users from your list only. Ajay is there. So here is Ajay PC. Okay, Ajay. So I given a permission on this folder. Ajay can able to access. So this PC also connected to the same switch, right? Or within a network or anything through network. Okay. So I can access this one like through network. Will access this by file server permission. So I can access this folder here. So then I can able to put the data and access the data also, right? I can read the data in that one. I can put the some data and store the data. I store the data here, but actually it stores here. Understand? Actually data is stored here only. That's why NAS we call it as a network centralized storage, network attached storage, and it is a centralized storage. Okay, and here we use a regular network, normal ethernet network only. We are using a regular or a normal or sorry, sorry. What is ethernet? Regular network or a ether network, LAN network only we are using. We don't use any special um, fire optic cables or like that. Okay, so guys, very simple. Here is a folder. I'm accessing the folder from my PC. File server will maintain this creation of folders, sharing of folder, permissions of folder will be maintained from file server. It is a server, that's it. Okay, file server. And these are the storage bays. In the storage bay, through file server, I will create a folder and give a permission to Ajay. Ajay is accessing the folder and put the data and access the data by Ajay. or same folder given a permission to multiple people. So then multiple people access same folder possible. Alright, like that. So one example I told. Guys understand NAS. Then we'll go to the SAN. SAN actually will take a lot of time in if you are really going inside a SAN. But I'm giving only small information only. And of course, if you want to know about a SAN, then go to this link also, Wikipedia link I given. And there is a very good information, and also you can read information from here also. Some information. Okay. But if you see it is disadvantage of SAN is more expensive, requires special skills. Not just a one person can able to manage kind of stuff won't work. Okay. Before going to the SAN, I want to go to NAS first of all. Why I'm going NAS again? You can buy NAS for your home purpose also. You cannot buy SAN for your home purpose or your personal purpose. SAN only for enterprise purposes. Okay, not for your own purposes, because the cost you cannot bear. You have to manage it. It is not a much simple one. Okay, it is not so much simple. Okay, it required a little bit training how to learn that kind of NAS kind of stuff. NAS storage. Where to buy this NAS storages? He can buy from Amazon also, Flipkart, like a e-commerce websites you can go and buy. So common e-commerce website, I'm telling, common e-commerce website. So you can see there is a box. Here is a box. So I'm going with the less cost like 80,000. And make sure when you buying these NAS boxes, okay, how many days we are connecting, how to access LAN connection or Wi-Fi access, and importantly, how many RAID related things it support. This is a USB support, power support, LAN connector is there. Okay, and very very importantly, when you buy this box, is it comes with a is it comes with a hard disk, or it is a empty box? See, it is a box plus hard disk is there. 4 terabyte of hard disk is there. Okay, it is comes with a hard disk. Okay, one hard disk or two hard disk, how many hard disk you are getting? So that is very important. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, disk station means empty box. Disk station plus hard disk you have to purchase. So like this, separate. This is a 2 terabyte. So like you can buy a separate one. This for like that also. See, this is the four disk we can able to put it in a single box. Four disk we can able to connect in a single box. And there is a two LAN connections you can able to connect it. Okay, there is some charging pin is also there, and you must go to the details. Okay, with a disk or without a disk, and how much speed it is. Okay, what type of disk we have to insert, regular disk or anything, and what is the write support in the disk, like that you can go for it. So you can go up and up cost, like here it is. So more LAN connections, more disk spaces you can able to connect it. Okay, see here it is. I need a back. See, more LAN connections also possible. Okay, what is this box contain? You can we can able to insert a disk inside. Next one is internally there is a computer board kind of stuff. Server board is there inside. Okay, like this. See, it is very easy. No screw like that. So very simply you can able to insert the multiple disk in this one, and you can see the LAN connection in the backside also. So why it is not zooming automatically like this? You can see This is a just attachment. Yeah, inside attachment you have to put a hard disk. You can remove it and reinsert it into this bay. What is the advantage of buying a NAS kind of stuff? So if you go to the small size NAS storages, like a single disk kind of stuff, like this regular one, so Western Digital or kind of stuff. This are two hard disk are there. Okay, two disk you can able to connect it, and two USBs and one LAN connection. And there is a picture like, see, you can insert a disk like this. So what is the advantage of buying for ourselves? So multiple RAID configuration is there, but only two RAID configurations you can able to create it. Okay, so you have to check the how many RAID configurations you can do it, and like this. You can go to the details. Why I'm showing in Amazon? Because you can easily get to the through the details. Very simple. You have a lot of data. We have a lot of data in your mobile phone. You go outside, then you take a lot of pictures. Nowadays, Google put a condition 15 GB, not more than 15 GB, it won't store. Okay, if you don't verify the any pictures and all, recently you are not viewing the pictures and all, it will delete it also. You have a lot of data, movies data, like that. So you can store all your uh, data centrally. If I store in my pen drive, I have to connect my pen drive. If I store in my external hard disk, I have to connect my external hard disk. Only for one person only. But this centralized data, any person can able to access. So what is the advantage of centralized data? Any user in the through network using a Wi-Fi or a wired network depends upon the your NAS connection. So any user from any type of device, you can able to connect it. Okay, tablets, laptops, desktop, mobile phone, also possible with a NAS devices. Not regular NAS. Not talking. I'm talking about these type of NAS devices. Okay, so but anyway, this is a centralized storage means from your devices you can able to access the data. Okay, so this is okay. So you can able to access the data from multiple devices, like from different desktops you can able to access data. Okay. So that is called a NAS, network attached storage. Next, what is this SAN? So before going to the SAN, yeah, we'll go to the SAN now. SAN offers high availability with the most flexibility. So where is SAN? So what is SAN? Storage area network. Just like your LAN, WAN, MAN kind of stuff itself, a area network. Okay, storage area network. SAN itself a area network. Okay, it is a storage area network. Okay, storage area network. It is high available with the most flexible storages, and it is suitable for enterprise solutions. Okay, so first of all, again, it is a centralized storage. It is a centralized storage. You can store the data in a central location, so then you can access the data from anywhere. From anywhere means through the network you can access the data. Well, it is high speed. Okay, so normally comparatively low NAS. Okay, less speed means data transmission speed is less because we are using, because we use, okay, ethernet network. Ethernet, fast Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet. Still, it is a copper wires only. It is a high speed. Because of it is, we use fiber optical. You know, right? Fiber optical. Okay. So fiber optical connection. So fiber optical is a faster data transmissions. Okay. Faster in data, faster data transmission. Fiber opticals also one more thing is there. That is it is. Anybody tell about one more important point about fiber optical?
Much clear.
Cost, cheap. Okay, good. Both are there, cost and cheap. Because small cable very costly, very lengthy cable comparatively cheap, but very important. No EMI, electromagnetic interference. Electromagnetic interference, no EMI. So because of no EMI, and one more is there. So no crosstalk. Because of no EMI, no crosstalk. Okay, no attenuation. Okay, so it is actually if you are belongs to ECE or triple E. Okay, so you'll understand these words in generally transmission lines. So fiber optical cable is oppose all transmission line properties. Okay, no attenuation, no crosstalk, no electromagnetic interference, no decay in the signal strength. Okay, of course, signal will go after some time, like, but it is actually not disturbed by these parameters. So it is faster data transmission. Okay, very lengthy communication also we can do it. So important is SAN, we use a fiber optical cables, high speed data transmission. It is high speed compared to NAS less speed. Okay, NAS is a very less speed, it is a very high speed than NAS SAN. So because it's a, we use Ethernet network, it is comparatively less speed. Cost, it is costly. Okay, it costly, but it is highly redundant. Redundant is also there. It is see faster access time, easily expandable, centralized storage, high level of redundancy. That is very important, high level of redundancy. High level of redundancy. So what is this redundancy kind of stuff? We'll see it is. Okay, and of course suitable for enterprise solution. Okay, suitable for enterprise solutions. And of course different protocols we use it, that's will be you see that implement SAN by using fiber channel or a iSCSI kind of stuff is also there, and some more details you can able to read it from there. Okay, so I will explain what is this kind of circuit it is. We are unable to draw on the screen because my drawing, go to meeting won't work. See, this drawing is waste. Size is small, transparent, fade out drawing, anything, just this is not at all working. Stop drawing is better. Okay, so I have to go to this one only. Yeah, guys. Before going to NAS, SAN, I will tell why SAN is important is compared to NAS. What is this redundancy? Redundancy means very simple. If my server is down, okay, I'm for example, I'm maintaining a website. I'm maintaining a website. I have a web server. My web server is down. So a user can able to access the website. I'm maintaining a web server. My server is down. User now want to access a website. Can he access a website like this? Tell me, for example, I'm maintaining w3schools.com website. Okay, this is my website. My web server is down. Now, can my user access can able to access the website or not? Obviously, he cannot access. But that is just a website, no problem. It's having a regular data, always same data. His data is like this, always variable data. Maybe just like this kind of website, or maybe a mail server, or it can be a YouTube server, or maybe Amazon.com, or maybe Amazon.com, or maybe I purchase a course like this is CloudX Lab. Okay, I purchase a course in a CloudX Lab, and I want to study. Now website is down. So what the people will do? They will give a complaint, right? So your website is down, so I cannot able to study course, and today my time is wasted because of that one, and it is given a big problem. So what to do? Plan a multiple servers. Plan for a multiple web servers. So what happened here? Simply look at here. If my server is down, no problem. User will access the website from another secondary server. It maintain both maintain same data. Both will maintain same data. Okay, centrally they maintain the data. Okay, but if one of the server is down, no problem, other server will give you service. Remember guys, we are ITIS people. What is ITIS? IT infrastructure services. Main duty of ITIS is the first duty of maintaining the data centers or a infrastructure. In that one, always high availability of services. Always high availability. Server can be down, but service should not be down. Understand? Server can be down, but service should not be down. So user should get a service irrespective of whether your server is running or not. So make sure you have to deploy multiple servers. So then if any server is down, no problem, user will get services. Think about it, this guys. Two important factors is always keep remember. Okay. Think about like this. Okay. This is a normal server, of course. Maybe per day, 1,000, 2,000 people will are accessing. But how many people are accessing Amazon? How many people are accessing Amazon per day? Okay, per hour, per minute. How many people are accessing Amazon website? How many people are accessing Flipkart kind of website? How many people are accessing Gmail account? How many people are accessing Google Mail account? Okay, so lot of load on it, right? So lot of load on it. Meantime, servers can be crashed. So compulsory they will deploy the multiple servers, and every server share the load. Every server share the load, and if any server is down, no problem. Other server is ready to give the service to the customer. So that is the main important in here. Okay, so guys understand service down, server down, redundancy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll come back to the our NAS storages. See, here it is, one storage bay, a server, switches, like this. It's a regular, like I have a very small office, I want to store the data in centrally. In my home, 3 4 members are there, they have a lot of data, so they want to store the data, so I configure NAS. In my office I have a 10 or 20 employees are there, they want to store their data into the central storage, so they store in the NAS only. Internal redundancy is there, so internally we can able to create a redundancy, but external for user access there is no redundancy by formula. For example, NAS is disconnected from the switch, you can't access. File server disconnected from the switch, you can't access. Switch is down, you can't access. Okay, so this is a, it's okay in a small networks, but if it is a large enterprises, you said like, no, no, that there is a, my storage base disconnected. Sorry sir, my server is down. So if you say like that, it will give you very big problem. So that is a main disadvantage of NAS is no redundancy. Okay, no redundancy as SAN. So what it is? No return. Okay, as a NAS. Okay, so this is for a small network kind of stuff. So if something is happened, still immediately can able to take an action. But large amount of data transmission time, if suddenly your NAS box is disconnected, then you will get a problem. So what this SAN will do? Again, SAN same thing. It is a having a storage base. What is a storage base? It is nothing but contains your hard disk. Storage base contains your hard disk only. Storages. Okay. So this is my storage base. Okay. Next one is your file server. File server means which maintains this entire kind of stuff. And there is a switches. Okay. Switches. So everything is connected like this zigzag manner. Like this is connected to this, this is connected to here, and this is connected to here, and this is also connected to here, and this is connected here, this is connected here, and like this. So what happened here? Which topology it is? Every piece is connected to all other pieces.
Network.
Network only, but which topology? Mesh
Mesh
topology. Very good. Mesh topology. Every piece is connected to all other pieces. So that is called a mesh topology. So we connect this one in a mesh type. So if you look at here in my picture also, see, these are the servers are connected to this switch and this switch. This is connected to this one and this one, and finally these are connected to storage devices. So why it is? If somewhere this switch is down, okay, this switch is down, no problem. In another way, we can able to communicate. See, here it is. So something is happened to this switch, no problem. There is a communication path. Okay. If, for example, this is a down, this storage bay is down. Okay. Um, okay. Um, no problem. Just you can access from it because of they'll create a redundancy between these two storage bays also. Means whatever the data is here, same data will maintain here. So if this is down, no problem, we have other down. So if this server is down, no problem, we have one server is alive. Okay, just like that, we create like this. So then it is a complex also. Okay, it is a complex. complex than a NAS. Okay, it is a complex network. It is a complex network, but it is a highly redundancy. If switch is down, plug is down, like that. And it is costly, and it is for enterprise solutions, centralized storage, high speed because of fiber optical channels. Okay. Something I'm missing here. Something in a SAN I'm missing. Oh, SAN is very important in enterprises. It's not a simple file storage is not enough sometimes. So we required a SAN management softwares are required. The popular software is NetApp, managed by applications. Okay, example NetApp. So NetApp is one of the famous one, guys. You can google it like how to manage the net app. There is a lot of videos are there. You can try on track, on tap something is there. On tap is also there. Okay. On tap net app, on tap net app is also there. Search for on tap net app, so then you will get a how to configure for yourself also. Okay. So free san, vsan, vsan virtual san is also there. That is from the VMware, from the VMware. Okay. So these are about your NAS and SAN. These are the type of storages. Actually, it is a very small topic, but it a longer time. So, guys, take a break for a 10 15. Yeah, tell me, tell me.